Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another World of Warcraft video. As always, your host, Papadello, or as known now, because I'm stuttering, I'm still angry, Papagello. I can't believe it. In stores now. Brought to you by Tello Enterprises, okay? So get your Jello pack, 6-piece, and a biscuit. I ought to knock you out right now. You're pissing me off. Settle down. However, good transition, editor. He's doing all right. Everybody say hi, editor, in the comments. Hello, editor. Hello, and say hi to him. He's doing all right. However, yeah. So last night I was doing a stream, and we were playing like a lot of PvP, testing out Seal of Martyrdom, which was good, by the way. I had fun. Testing out different builds. So we've been streaming Wednesdays, Saturdays, and Sundays, by the way. Twitch TV, Hello J Tello. So go follow over there. But overall, it's been fun. Even though the Alliance were getting their ass kicked most of the night, and then after a while, I was like, okay, this ain't it. Let me get out of here. My head was also bothering me too because of allergy season. I've been trying to take some medicine, try to fix that up. But overall, we're getting through it. And I got a message in my chat from my boy from my guild, and he was like, "Yo, Tello, you gotta check this out, dude. Reputation got hit with a quick, like, silent nerf." And I didn't see any blue posts or anything mentioned on Wowhead about reputations getting hit. And I was like, wait, what the heck? Like, silent patch out of nowhere? When the hell did this happen? So appreciate Nick for the info for that. And out of nowhere, yeah, I looked at the thread. I'll bring you guys over here from to see what's going on, and it seems like, and indeed, it got nerfed. And this thread actually blew up overnight. Incursions nerfed 60 silver each quest in Hinterlands. Now, I only did quests in the Hinterlands. I'm not sure what it's like over there in Feralis, but let me know, Horde. I know it's more dominated over there. What's the situation going on? Are you guys getting the same thing? Because if that's the same thing here, it's most likely over there as well. And even though the rep is good, you're getting 60 silver, and you're no longer getting that abundance of gold. So what happened yesterday, right, which was like a big thing, was that there was a Zerg meta going on, and I'm going to switch over to this tab here so you guys can kind of understand it. There was a Zerg meta going on where basically, which I was a part of for a little bit, and I believe my friend Cheeky Shia invited me. We started doing the Zerg meta, and then we would follow this train of people, kind of like Ashenvale. You know when you follow like a train of people go from one direction to the other? And that's what basically this was. You would follow the train, and everybody would like do only a specific amount of quests. Nobody did any kill quests. We did all the recoveries. We did all like the dragon eggs and the intelligence, the bosses if you had any, and that's about it, right? And you would just massively hand those in, wait at the portal, and wait for the rescue missions to come, and they would always come like 3 in a row. Boom, like it was planned out perfectly. So people were making a lot of gold. And then out of nowhere, a couple hours later, like during the PvP, like I just heard that it just got silently nerfed, like just out of nowhere. So it looks like from an individual right here, No Expert 763, it went about from 24 gold per round to 17 gold per round with like the Zerg meta for context. So people are still doing it. If you see like a bunch of people going in this group of packs or waves, people are still doing it. But overall, it's not as much more bang for your buck as it once was. Even when the first day was massive. Like obviously that was insane. And obviously people have every right to be annoyed for not being a part of that meta when it happened the first day and missing out on the loop. They missed out on a lot of gold, and that's unfortunate because at the end of the day, like, of course everybody wants to get their fair share, right? I totally get you there. However, though, so instead now it's more like 72 goldish per hour from individual Kragan that they were saying here. Another individual said so it's close to 100 gold an hour overall. Oh, sorry, clicked out of the tab there. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's still an efficient way for to make gold, in my opinion. I do think now that you have to do the kill quests, which give you a reward of 6.99, basically 7 gold per kill quest, which it is slower of doing the kill quests in general. But you have to think about it in this way. It's still much more efficient of making gold doing this if you're not making money with professions, if you're not making money from selling, world drop items, or just doing your classic, raw gold selling from like dungeon grinding, etc., and just selling to the vendors or whatever you're doing from there. Overall, in general, this is still probably one of the better methods in the game to farm gold. If you guys remember playing Classic era or even Vanilla, making gold, we never had something like Incursions ever before. And you can easily, if you can net yourself 72 to 100 gold per hour, even after nerf incursion, with how it is, even though they boosted the kill quest, but that still nerfs the time per gold per hour because everything else was much more faster. So even after that, it's still not a massive ordeal. You could still make a good amount of money with incursions. And I do believe too, if I am correct, I'm not too sure about this one, but someone did tell me if you hit exalted, you get more gold with quests. I'm not too sure if that is true or not. However, if that is true, then indeed you're still making good amount of gold doing incursions in general. So don't let anybody stir you away from saying, oh, you shouldn't be doing incursions, it's not worth it. No, it definitely is worth it. You do get some stuff at exalted, like the epic rings and stuff like that. Also, you get the crystal where you can do herbalism with incursions and have a chance of getting gear drops from like picking herbs and stuff like that. So it actually is worth doing incursions. At the end of the day, it's one of the best methods of making gold currently within World of Warcraft. Now, do I feel for people that missed out on it? Yes, because at the end of the day, I do think there is a problem with the economy. Even though, like we've heard from the devs that saying that the economy will heal itself, and the doors obviously when 60 comes will open up and things will change. Now I agree. In the long run, the economy tends to heal itself. It does happen. You even remember last phase, things would come down in price during the end of the phase ending. Things drop down drastically, depending on the server you were on. I know on my server in Living Flame, prices were dropping. During that end of the phase, a lot of prices. Like, for example, Sagefish Delight. I was trying to sell those for a lot of gold, and then out of nowhere, those things were dropping in price. And I was like, damn, I can't believe how much these things are dropping. But it makes sense because new, recipes and new, ingredients and stuff come out in the next phase. So, in general, I still think this is a good method for you guys to, farm and, get a group together, go get some quests done, get some gold, get some rewards, and it's still a better method than a lot of these other methods were back in the day, during like vanilla and classic era. You didn't have opportunities like this in incursions to score yourself any type of massive net profit per hour. You know what I mean? This is an actual legitimate way of still 72 to 100 gold per hour is still fucking really good, and especially if you are degenning at the game. Some people, they're just the average Joe. Maybe they hop on for a couple hours, 3-4 hours, and they get themselves a couple, 100 gold here and there, and that's pretty solid. But some people are no lifing it, and they're getting thousands and thousands of gold. Now, obviously, this has nothing to do with Sunken Temple and the massive exploitation that happened with that, especially with like the hunter mages for what we heard for a week straight. And I also checked out the Sarf video about him saying that they were doing it for basically a week straight before the news was even out of what was going on, that this was a method that people were doing. So that is fucking insane. At the end of the day, that method of making gold blows this shit straight out of the water, because I've heard people made thousands of gold with that, taking advantage of nightmare seeds. Now, that's a problem for another discussion I'm about to talk about here in a little bit, but let's go to a Blizzard post that we saw over here on the U.S. Blizzard forums in general, and talking about incursions. So the title is the incursion nerf was handled too late. Blizzard needs to do better in future phases. From Sithis, it's unbelievable that some players were able to earn up to 20k gold before you address the gold farming incursion issue. Right after launch, a new phase. I can't believe I can't speak right now. I don't know why I'm stuttering. It's probably that ginger chicken I had. However, right after launching a new phase, your team should be ready to fix problems quickly with hot fixes. The delay has already caused too much damage. By the time you nerf the gold gains, a lot of players had missed out, which is true. He is not wrong on that part. Those who didn't exploit early are now at a huge disadvantage. This isn't fair, and you need to step up your game. The situation is not acceptable. Now, how do we feel about this? Let's zoom in, guys. Let's talk about it. I do think, at the end of the day, it was obviously a miss. It was a misinput. Pretty much, it's a misinput. Okay, as as Moist Critical would say. However, But at the end of the day, it was, from Blizzard's end. They did not mean to, they had to correct the values of what it was to get gold per those incursions when the game, Phase 3 first released. That's why so many people were making so much fucking gold, because it was a mistake on their end, and they admitted that. And I think, honestly, they still winded up patching it within the first day. Like, that got fixed right away. Did people score a lot of fucking gold? Yes. It took a couple fucking hours. People were, getting in there, racking up money. I'm not gonna lie, they were doing, people were doing their thing, and I was one of them. I obviously joined. I joined a little bit late though, but I got a couple hours in to be a part of it. So it is what it is. It's unfortunate, and I do feel for the player base that missed out on that. However, the incursions right now, if you're actively playing the game and you're actively, like, an LFG and looking for groups, then you probably knew that this was happening. Not saying all the casual player base, but you probably knew that this kind of Zerg meta was happening within the incursions. And if you didn't know, I understand and I totally feel for you. It's totally fine. I'm not here to pick a side. I side with the gold makers. I side with the casual. No, I'm playing the middle ground here, as most of the time I mostly do, because I don't like to pick sides. But when I do pick a side, I'll let you know my reasoning on why. But I'm here in this case to say that I feel for all sides. At the end of the day, I can't hate people's hustle. If they're going to grind and take, exploit the game because, Blizzard failed to tune things properly, or they didn't catch on quick enough, then more power to the people for doing that, because at the end of the day, they're there to break the game for Blizzard to fix, right? It is what it is. But for the people that missed out, it is a bummer, but the opportunity to make gold for you is still there in Incursions. Will you make thousands upon thousands of gold? No. But if you're playing this game casual Joe, the average Joe play style, and you play, let's say, 3 incursions, all right? And let's do the math, right? Let's actually do the math. Let's bring numbers into this, even though I hate math. Let's say you did 3 incursions a night, and let's say at max you are, or not 3 incursions a night, you did basically, let's say, per run, right? If you were to do 72 gold per hour, and you played 3 hours, so 72 gold times 3 is 216 gold within 3 hours. Any average player, if they're just an average player, they play 3 to 4 hours max. Some might play 5 if they're pushing it, right? But they come home from work. Let's say you're working a 9 to 5. You get on the game at 6, and you play till 10. So let's say they do 4 hours. So plus 72. 288. That means on a normal Monday to Friday, with a job, not counting kids or anything like that, but with a job and life and standards, if you have 3 to 4 hours, you could be making anywhere from 216 to 288 gold a week. Let's say you make the max efficiency of it, though. Let's say you make 288 in one night. 288 times 5 through a week, if you have the time, you can be netting yourself on an average fucking play of 1.440 gold a week. A week of just doing incursions. Tell me when in classic era or vanilla were you able to do that within a week, besides obviously selling professions and doing mithril bars, arcanite bars, stuff like that, selling all the highest end game recipes of alchemy. When can you do that with a daily basis besides professions? Do not say anything else besides professions in the comments below. If you guys tell me a method about that, then I'll be very interested. Because at the end of the day, this is still really good fucking gold. And to be honest with you, I know there's going to be people in the comments talking about, well, yeah, you could just swipe for this shit. And to be honest, you're not wrong. And that's a whole nother thing. And that's something when I said earlier I was going to get into later on, that I'm going to get into a little bit right now. Well, I guess we could say it, or we could talk about it right now. So, gold buying right now is really, I'm not gonna say scary, but it is really cheap. It is really cheap. Last night on stream, I didn't show the websites, I didn't show the back alleys, the hidden doorways, but I showed the price of what people can buy for gold right now if they really wanted to, and that's just the truth. I'm not buying gold. Hell no. Not trying to risk the ban, especially with a platform, not doing that shit. But I'm telling you right now, the gold that you just saw right there, 1,440, you can get that you can get 1,000 gold, probably 1,100 gold for like about 24, 25 bucks if you go to the right areas. Just saying. So I'm assuming, and I'm already of like an understanding that a lot of these bots are taking advantage, if they have any scripts within these incursions, if they got themselves within the Zerg meta, or if they took advantage, which is the most scariest part to me, of the sunken temple. If they took advantage of the sunken temple, exploit with the nightmare seeds, and especially on a farm, if they just took care of that and they got bot counts together to clear 6 out of 8, and then fucking farm nightmare seeds and rack up a shit ton of gold to now flip at a lower US dollar price to sell back to the consumer, just for them to buy more fucking gold, because inflation right now in the economy is crazy. It is insane. A lot of things are worth a lot of gold. Not saying you can't make the money. I obviously just made an argument that you could do incursions. At the end of the day, you can still make the money to buy these things. But I'm nervous for the future of Season of Discovery when it comes to bots. And even though I know Blizzard has a way of banning bots in waves, I give them credit for, letting them do their exploitive actions, let them, build up a history and a record, and then banning them all in a wave. That's how they handle it. I get that. But this is kind of scary in the fact that there is a potential future of Season of Discovery, even after SOD is done, where bots are going to run a mockery of the place. And that's where I'm nervous about. Because the fact that these exploits are happening, we're seeing holes of exploits happening here and there, with, the Sunken Temple Nightmare Seeds, obviously with the Night Incursions, with the Zerg meta, and obviously the day one of what we were talking about when there was, a misinput pretty much by Blizzard's end. And obviously bots have always exploited WoW since, the beginning, right? Bots have been a part of World of Warcraft for a very fucking long time. So they always find ways, whether it's dungeons, etc., or, spamming, a mage in, like, ZG, for example, or just anywhere, right? And there's many of areas for bots to do exploitive tactics. And I've seen a bot the other day, actually, when I was in Swamp of Sorrows. It was a fucking druid bot. I hit him, and I was seeing if he was going to hit me back. He hit me back, but he wouldn't do any abilities, and then when he got low, he was just casting Wild Growth on himself, and then he spawned back by me, and then just ignored me, and then I hit him again, and he did the same thing. So you could tell what these bots are. I've seen them, and they exist inside. When we were in Winter Spring a couple days ago, farming Fire Warders, there was like 3 hunters running back to back, all following each other. I'm sure you've seen the train of them. Like, hold on, editor, right there, keep it there. The train of them just... Oh, there's some gold over there. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I'm sure you've seen the train of them. You know what I mean? Like, it's insane. It's actually insane. But I talked about this a couple weeks ago, and I was like, maybe I should make a video going to these gold buying websites and just showing it. You know what I mean? Like, obviously just showing the stuff on where to go to get it. And I'm not promoting it by all means, not any means necessary. I'm not promoting it. But my biggest thing is something I wondered. If gold buying is such a problem, I don't understand why Blizzard doesn't just ban these websites or take legal action to these websites for using, because think about it, like obviously the policies, like any type of third party purchasing, right, is against like Blizzard's, I believe, code and conduct, or it's against their like privacy overall. So you can't do any third party purchasing for their game, right? So if these websites are clearly there and their sellers clearly doing it, why not just go after the website? Now maybe there's something that happened in the past where people have done that. If there's videos and there's knowledge about it, I'm totally like unaware of that part. So guys, don't come at me if I'm like, oh, they already tried. I don't know. I'm unaware. So I don't mind you guys talking to me politely, and we discuss about it. So I'm just saying, like, I've always found it curious, like, just tackle these websites and shut them down. Therefore, these bots accounts have to find now other alternatives in order to find other websites and attack them straight at the source, because the sources are there. I just never understand that. However, I guess the point of this video overall is that you can make yourself, a good amount of gold. Yes, there are bots that is scary as well, which we've just discussed, that could be exploiting a lot of this shit. And also what I've noticed too is the prices of nightmare seeds have came down a lot. I believe the prices of nightmare seeds now, from all of the, things that are going on in Sunken Temple, they were selling at around, I believe in the beginning, at 50 gold to 25 gold, and now as of last night, 11 gold to 12 gold. So it seems like it is much, much cheaper. And that's, it's crazy. Every time I think about something, another subject pops up. That's another crazy thing. When these, like, new ways of getting epic gear come out, like, right off the rip, guys, don't be scared and feel like you're pressured to having to buy them off the rip. You have the Sweat Andes and the Meta Lords who are going to obviously, and they're not going to deny that they're not swiping, because a lot of the top people swipe. It's understandable. More power to them. But they're going to be getting all the best in slots. They're going to get people funnel them gold to get them the best shoulders, the best helmet, etc. Week 1. But don't fall for these tricks of buying stuff for 50 gold, 100 gold, etc. Don't fall for it, guys, because it's all ways to get you fucking broke and rob you out your pockets. Save your gold, grind it up. Eventually, you will get that best gear and play the game at your own pace in your own time. That's just my recommendation, and put a certified stamp on that one. Jello Tello certified. However, that's basically what I wanted to talk to you guys about today. Just going over the incursion. So I guess my questions to you guys is, and girls as well, what do y'all think about the incursions? Do you think that Blizzard messed up? Do you think that the incursions are not worth it? Do you understand my point of view when I'm saying you can make yourself still a good amount of money? Even the average Joe can make good money a week, as I showed you. As I showed you on the calculator right there. If that's about average, you can still clear yourself a good amount of gold per week. And then especially saving up that money for an epic mount next phase, which you're going to need 1,000 to 800 gold depending on your honor, right? With, wherever you're at in the world, Alliance or Horde. But what do you think, and also what do you think about, the quest? Like, do you think this should have been a silent nerf? Do you think this should have been something on Wowhead? I honestly think that I should have saw something on Wowhead, if anything, or they should have at least gave us a day notice or something. That was a really quick silent nerf. I'm not always a fan of these little hush patches, but it is what it is. Sometimes they need to happen if it's something really bad in the game, so I understand that. But in general, that's really about it. And also leave me comments below about what do you think about the bot situation in SOD. Obviously, as I mentioned, I know the website. So if you guys want to see that video, I could do that video. I don't want to be that guy because I know people buy gold. But I can go down the dark alleyways and the boy with the light can shine the way through. So let me know. However, keep on keeping on. As always, much love, amigos. I'll French kiss you one day for sure, for sure. However, I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace out. I feel like I gotta take a shit. I don't know.